Hello there. Hello there. Hello there, YouTubes. How the devil are we all? I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Now, before we even start, the hair, it's almost emo length. I can almost get it over the eye now. Oh, that'll be sexy, won't it? Assuming I don't just cut my fucking hair before we get to that point, because that might happen. Who knows? Anyways, yes, today's little video, I was going to do is like a proper actual video and cut it together and edit it, and I thought, I can't be fucking bothered. Anyway, it's an addendum, if you will, to the last happy hour that we did that was 4.5 hour happy hour. So not really an hour. Anyway, it was an election special. And thank you enormously to everyone who came on. We had obviously me and Christy. There's Aaron Ra, Steve Shives, Thomas Smith, Dusty Smith. No relation, but they're both Smiths. Aaron Ra and Lalandra Ra, they are related by marriage. Various other Larry Yallingman, who brought on someone who'd actually stood as one of the state representative seats for the Democrats. Largely as a paper candidate, it would appear, but even so, it was nice to speak to her. Who else did we have? We had loads of other people, and I've totally forgotten who we had on. But thank you enormously to everyone. Oh, Lady Columbia, and I'm sure I'm forgetting someone, and I apologise to them for that. I really should have made a list before this. Anyway, thank you enormously to all of those people for coming on. It was, I think, a very good show. I enjoyed it a lot. Anyhow, yes, the matters arising section comes from someone who wasn't in the Hangout, but someone who was rather butthurt about something that happened just outside the Hangout in the chat. Now, as you know, when you do a live stream like this, there's a chat bar next to the screen, assuming you allow it, of course. You don't have to for live streams; you can disable that feature, but we don't generally. So there was a chat, and people generally chat back and forth about loads of other shit. And if you go in there, it's generally relatively unrelated to what's being discussed. But it's a lot of fun, and we think that's a good thing to happen. And you have moderators. You'll notice they have the little blue wrench or spanner, whatever, however you want to call it in whatever country you're from, and they can like ban people and block people who are being trolly or spamming or just generally being abusive or whatever, or just because they want to. I mean, I certainly willfully abuse my power of moderation because why the fuck not? It's not really a free speech issue, is it? I'm not the government. Anyway, this is where we bring in the turd of the show, a man by the name of Greg. You might know him from the internet as Armoured Skeptic. Yes, he of being a twat fame. He who is an absolute fucking hack who willfully lies about things like Bill C-16 and the like. Anyway, yes, he appeared in our chat. He's a relatively big YouTuber. He could have gone to any number of the different streams that were happening that night. There were loads and loads, because obviously it was the US midterm elections. Loads of the bigger channels were having their streams, but he came to ours for reasons that Steve Shives and Christy Winters live in his fucking head. Anyway, I'd like to be conceited enough to think that I do, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's Christy and Steve who he has particular fixation upon, and that's fun. Anyway, yes, he appeared in our chat. Now, this was unbeknownst to me because I was focusing on, we had a lot of guests, so I was focusing on making sure that people got different, everyone got to speak a little bit and the conversation flowed, and trying to watch the TV as well so that I could get the results and, relay a few of the results as the night went on and all of that. So I didn't get to watch the chat at all. And apologies to that. I mean, I usually don't anyway, but this time I had a genuine excuse not to look at the chat. But Greg popped in before, and I'll show you the tweet he sent out. He sent out a tweet specifically about this, and there are a number of issues that are very, I think, rather amusing about his incredibly butthurt tweet. Yes, he appeared in it, so I'll show you the tweet first and foremost. Right? He appeared before the live show itself actually had started, and thank you to everyone who does the moderation on Christie's channel, and indeed those who do mine. There's a large crossover between the two. Can we all see that? Yes, we can. Yeah, because as you can see there, he was banned. For a start off, right, Greg, banned from Christy Winter's chat. You were blocked from that specific chat. You were not banned forever. Okay, get a grip. Yeah, he clearly. So he tweeted this out, right? And this was on the November the 7th. So technically the day after, but it was at 1:40, if I remember, 1:48 a.m. So it was like the morning, the night of the election. Uh, he was clearly rather annoyed by this. Banned from Christy Winter's chat for no reason. Dot, dot, dot. My very presence triggers the libs. Oh, the outrage. Now, firstly, it should be oh, comma the outrage. I mean, unacceptable levels of English there. And then there's three screenshots. I'll take you through those in a second. First, though, I just wanted to point out that this was the only tweet he sent that day. Or the only standalone one. There's one above there, which is a retweet of Sean Head, his girlfriend or fiance, whatever, his partner. So this is the only standalone tweet. Like the other tweets from November the 5th. That's the only tweet he sent in that 24-hour period. Actually, probably longer than that, but in that day of the election, this is the only tweet he sent out. So of all the things he could have tweeted about, it could have been, the results of this election, whether what the impact this is going to be on American and in American-Canadian relations. It could have tweeted about any of these things. And clearly, even though this is an election in a country he's not from, because as you can see there, the Canadian flag, he's a Canadian. So you'd think, well, maybe he doesn't care about the election. But he was in our live stream about the election, so clearly he does care. Clearly this is an issue for him. Anyway, yeah. So of all the issues he could have talked about, the House flipping to the Democrats, what this means for the Trump presidency and the Mueller investigation and Russia collusion, loads and loads of things he could have talked about. This was his takeaway. This was his fucking takeaway from the entire event, was that he got banned from Christy Winter's chat. Now, I'll just put these up for everyone to peruse. Look, there he is. When does the stream start? So he was in there before, and people are basically calling him a prick, which is fair enough. Yeah, I don't quite know why Greg stopped by. Okay, fine, but I don't know why he hasn't got the tweet of him being blocked or the screenshot of him actually being blocked. But he was blocked. I'm not denying that. It's just odd that he didn't. Now, some people had said that it was some random geek that did it, but no, I have it on good authority from the horse's mouth himself, Larry Yellingman, who's, if I remember, I'll put a link to his podcast below. It's very good. I've been on that a couple of times. It was he who blocked Greg because he thought he was a troll, and he was correct in that assumption. So yeah, he was blocked from the live stream. Now, what I love about this is he says that his very presence triggers the libs. Greg, the fact that this was the only tweet you sent in that entire day, quite an important day with lots of political news going on, lots of stuff you could be talking about. The fact that this was the only thing you fucking tweeted out doesn't show that everyone else is triggered. I think it shows that you are the one who's fucking triggered by this. And also that Steve Shives and Christy Winters live rent-free in your mind. Yes, that's always fun too. Yes, great. I don't even know where to begin with how stupid this is. The fact that you decided to even mention this particularly, like that would be okay if you were also talking about other stuff. But this was the only fucking thing you mentioned in the whole stream. Amazing. Amazing. Not in the whole stream, in the whole day of American politics. That's what you mentioned. That's pathetic. That really is. Also, I think it goes to showing what a load of old shit you were talking when you said that you were going to hold Trump's feet to the fire. Because in a night where he got, something of an electoral slap around the chops, not as much as I'd like, unfortunately, but he did get a little bit of that. The person you attacked was Christy Winters. That's the thing you decided to focus on, not Trump, not the Democrats, not the Republicans, not America, not Canada, not anything like that. Christy Winters was the person you went after. Yes, really, really, you're going to be going after the Republicans so hard, aren't you, Greg? You're such a centrist. You're not a fucking right-wing shill piece of garbage at all. Anyway, stop presenting. We need to go back to my absolutely delicious visage. Is it going to? There we go. Yeah, so I thought I'd bring that little tidbit to you because that was fun. Yeah, Greg got blocked. And if he happens again, I'll block him again because it's fun. It's funny to me. It's not a freedom of speech issue, as one or two people have tried to make it out. Ridiculous. Me and Christy Winters are not the government. Okay, if we were, the world would be a little different, I imagine. Yeah, it's not a freedom of speech issue. Okay, we don't have to allow you in the chat. We don't need a reason to get rid of you. And now you've given us a reason. So if you ever do pop in again, I not just ask nicely. I insist that the moderators get rid of you because that's funny to me. That's amusing to me. Okay, and I only do YouTube to amuse me. Really, the fact that anyone else gives a fuck is nice, but I do it's a fun way to spend the time between now and the cold embrace of the Reaper, which awaits us all. So that's why I do YouTube. So yeah, fuck you, Greg. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that little bit of silliness to you. Tonight, we've got on an unrelated note, we've got fucking Jordan Peterson. Oh my god, on Question Time, which is a show in Britain. For those who don't know, it's the sort of flagship political debate show in Britain. It gets reasonable viewing figures and is one of the cornerstones of British political discourse. And we've got fucking lobster cunt doing it. Brilliant. There's scraping the barrel Question Time, and then there's Jordan fucking Peterson. We're gonna have to treat him like he's a serious person, even though he claimed he drank a glass of cider and it kept him awake for 25 days straight. What? We have to take that prick seriously? Absolute fucking loose. And David Aronovich, who's another right-wing cock. So that's going to be a fun watch. Me and Christy may be doing a happy hour about that one, I imagine. But who knows? And if Greg shows up to that one, he will be blocked. Why not? It's amusing. Anyway, yes. Thank you all for listening and watching. I'll leave a link to the hangout itself if you want to go and watch that. It's very long. It's 4.5 hours, but it was fun. If you want to go and see Greg getting blocked, that's on Christie's channel. So maybe I'll leave a link to that. I don't know if I can remember to leave any of these links. That will be impressive for me. And to Larry Yellingman, top work on triggering the snowflake Gregory, who literally the only takeaway from the entire US midterm elections was that Christy Winters is a bad person. Christy Winters is the devil. Fun times, fun times. It's good to see that the general is still marshalling her troops and defeating the enemy in delicious fashion. Anyways, I don't know why I'm now doing a fucking voice check right at the end. Anyway, thank you all for your listenings and your watchings. Yeah, I'll leave those links below. Pip pip.